So here is my video summary for week 2. And so first of all, we'll do 10. I have to resume it because I had it paused or suspended. Okay, so navigating 5 different commands and command prompts. So let's see, command prompt. Let me go back and do it through administrator. So command prompt, I have used this before in other instances of me playing around with computers my entire life, or recently when I've been dwelling into other stuff. So the main one that I always ever use was ipconfig. This is how I figured out how to get into my router settings and change stuff around. If I can type, okay, ipconfig. So the default gateway, so this is my router IP and the IPv4. This is basically the connection to the internet through the router that I have. One that I've seen used in scams is called Tree, which lists a giant list, but it's basically a full directory of paths and how Windows navigates through things. It's used more and more scams. I really don't know exactly how to use this, but I've seen it before. Okay, then this is clear screen. Another one is check disk. This one I use a lot on my older system because it was way slower than this, and did this a lot just to see what was going on with the files and then clean up any bad areas, maybe defrag if possible, and things like that. Another one, I'll wait till this finish. It shouldn't take that much long. Alright, all done. So clear the screen again. And then another one is net user. This one can be used to see who's on this, and also just in case somebody else is remotely logged into your system, you can actually see if they pop up or not. Alright, and then the last one is get MAC, one word. So this is the MAC address or the physical internet address of your device or your network adapter. So this setting for me would be more used if you have a router that is basically because you can have a security limit to MAC address lock the router, so it only lets certain MAC addresses log into your internet connection. So this is what I would mainly use this one for. And then as far as explaining the viruses, so here's my virus post. So as far as viruses go, a lot of them, the main ones that I know about these days are DDoS attacks, because one took down the PlayStation network, I believe it was, where a bunch of different computers all at the same time tried to log into the same thing, and a DDoS is a virus or a worm. And the Mirai was a big one, and also WannaCry was the hugest one. And then there was a couple ransomwares which also are called malware, and the one that I know about other than the ransomware. The one I know about other than WannaCry was a couple of it was one called Jigsaw. It wasn't as big and it wasn't as known because it got stopped pretty quick because the decryption key was found out, but it logs in once you run it in the payload triggers. It sends everything that you have on your system. It decrypts it, and the only way to decrypt it is pay however much money the person wants you to pay. So the best way to stop that is to obviously not install any programs that you don't trust, or just make sure that all your system is updated, and keep any updates as much as you possibly can, and make sure you have all security updates, and that's the big one. And just stay away from shady sites. That's my biggest thing, I should say, of avoiding getting viruses. Alright, so yeah, I have a lot on this desktop. So navigating here, Um, the big one that I always used to get around everything was the search bar. So like control panel. That's how I find everything this way. I do know how to get around through other things on the home screen. So like if you go into the settings right here and then personalization, which I use a lot. I don't have this one customized because I don't use it. And then the accounts. If you go in here, you can change your picture and things like that. Also, family and other people, you can add other people to this or add your own different account if you want another one. Emails, I don't ever use the email setting on here. I really don't like it. Network and internet. See what your network connection is, how you connected through internet names, and then down here, see Action Center. So if you had any app notifications or updates you need to go through, and then the tablet mode for touchscreens, network, things like that. And down here, if you command click or right click, you can get to Task Manager, and then shows your performance, the service, the details, your CPU, things along those lines. If you right click here, you can go to System, and then you can go, this shows the desktop PC name like that. Another way to see the information, if you type in this PC, go here, shows your file, the directories and your shortcuts. If you right click here or command click, either or, go to properties, then you can see your Windows build, the computer, the product ID, and things along that line. Then device manager, everything that's installed. And if you right click here, if you add stuff that don't have, you can go to scan for hardware changes and it'll automatically add it there. So that's navigating Windows. So I'm going to suspend this one, and then I'll go into Windows Server. So I'll go right to this. Open Windows Server 2016. I'll let this one resume. So navigating here is, from what I can tell, is not really any different. Start menu has everything there. Search bar again, control panel, get you the same thing. If you go in here, basically all the same setup as Windows. Over here is your workstation. It says I need updates because I haven't installed them lately, but yeah, so I'll do that after this is done. So again, same thing. Go here, Task Manager. You can see all your resources, performance. I recently put the Server Manager here, so you start that up. Most of the activity I did, I was in here. So computer management, and this, I know how to get to this in Windows also, but here Device Manager shows all your devices, and then performance, how the computer's doing. And under performance, I believe you have a performance monitor. So this shows basically nothing going on right now. Another one, task scheduler. So if you have anything scheduled to do, an event viewer, so things that happen on the system since you've been on it, as in like warnings. And then down here should be stuff I've recently done. Local users on the server are people that can change certain settings or log in to do certain things that they need to do, but that's not necessarily change any major things to obstruct the server's per function. And a group is also along the same lines, but you got to add certain users to that group. And if you want to do maybe like a group thing that everybody's supposed to participate in, as in a group security sweep or server maintenance that needs to be done by different individuals, and it all needs to be done on one thing. So if you have a group, so if you have a group of people, you can all have access to the same thing. So this group I have, or it's local users. So say in this group, in the the users. Okay, so users 1, 2, and 5 are all in the infotech group. So if everybody in this group needs to do something, they can all log in using their own logins, but then they can all participate or react on the same group project. And so say I need to add another one, so I'd go under user and then more actions, new user, type the username in here. I'll just do Bob, and then password, and then confirm it, and then I'll change this, and then if I hit create, it'll pop a person up there. I'm not going to though. And then to create a group, same thing, more actions, new group, books, and then hit add, and it'll pop the group up there. I'm not gonna do that though. Permissions in Windows Server are basically the same thing in Windows. So to get to a permission setting, so say I want to go to the C drive. So I want to change the permissions of shared folder. So change the permissions of Infotech. You'd right click or command click, then go to properties, then security, and then these are all the permissions that the folder has. So to change those, you would click on a specific user. So I'd say, I'll just click this name, and then you go to edit. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. It is. Okay. Go to, so if I click here, go to edit, it'll pop up everything here. I can add more users to here if I wanted to, just by typing in a name. And then, so here, these are all the permissions that I have for this folder, which are none. So if I wanted to have full control of the folder, you just hit allow or deny, and then hit OK. And it gives you full control to look at everything in the folder, read everything, change it, delete it, add, and things like that. Basically, full control over the folder to modify it as you see fit. And then server manager settings. I'm not too familiar with this yet. I've been dwelling in it a little bit, but not as much. So local server. Right now I have to reboot to change this, but if you click on here, you can change the name of the computer, name of the work group. Down here is so many events that's happened, and then some of the services it's running. And then up here is all the settings that you have. If you go to manage, you can add roles or features. And then here explains how to add, delete, and what it is. So next, then remote desktop or role-based. So I'll just do role-based. I'm not going to actually install it. And then hit next for the server. And then these are all the roles that you can select. So like hypervisor, deployment system, web server, DNS server, things along those lines. So far this has been kind of interesting using Windows Server, but like I said before, I've done a lot of computer things a lot over the years, and I've learned a lot doing it. So I'm interested to see what else happens, and I hope this class shows me more than what it showed me right now. I'm glad to learn it. So I'm gonna restart this, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.